Minister of Culture Dr. Ines Abdeldaim inaugurates the International Forum Gabet Asfour for Achievement and Enlightenment. The forum is organized by the Supreme Council of Culture headed by Dr. Hisham Azmi in cooperation with the Sultan bin Ali Al Awais Cultural Foundation in the UAE. The event was attended by the Foundation Executive Manager Ibrahim Al-Hashimi. It was organized with the participation of an array of critics from Arab countries including Egypt, Libya, Iraq, Tunisia, Algeria, Sudan, Morocco, Lebanon, Bahrain, Yemen, Kuwait, the Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Syria, and Palestine. The forum is held at the headquarters of the Supreme Council of Culture. For her part, the minister said that the forum comes within the framework of the plans of the Ministry of Culture, represented by the Supreme Council for Culture and Sultan bin Ali Al Awais Cultural Foundation, to celebrate the symbols of culture in the Arab world. The minister concluded that the late Gabet Asfour shaped the conscience of generations, confirming that he left works and writings that enriched the Arab cultural library. Under the supervision of its artistic director, Armenia Kamel, the Cairo Opera House Ballet presents Queen Cleopatra, accompanied by the opera's orchestra led by Maestro Mohamed Saad, choreographed by Jose Perez and his assistant René de Cardenas. The show, Queen Cleopatra's Ballet, revolves around the story of the ancient Egyptian queen and her marriage to Mark Antony, who shared the rule of the Roman Empire with Octavius after killing Julius Caesar. Later on, Octavius declared war against Cleopatra and Mark Antony, and their defeat in the naval battle of Octavium and their tragic end after the victory of their opponent. It is noteworthy that the Cairo Opera Ballet Company was founded in 1966 and was affiliated with the Higher Institute of Ballet and presented its first performances in the same year. The opera in 1991 included a group of the most famous classical performances, including Romeo and Juliet, Swan Lake, The Nutcracker, Giselle, Don Quixote, and many more. The story of Cleopatra was presented for the first time in 2019. The 14th Luxor International Painting Forum was recently inaugurated at the Hanagir Arts Center. Head of the Cultural Development Fund sector, Dr. Fathi Abdul Wahab, inaugurated the exhibition Products of the Works of the Luxor International Painting Forum in its 14th session, which is organized by the fund sector in cooperation with the Luxor Governorate. The exhibition is held in cooperation with the Cultural Production Affairs sector, and it includes 40 paintings from the works of the Luxor International Painting Forum in its previous session. Artists taking part in the exhibit are from different parts of the world, including Greece, Serbia, Colombia, Iraq, Jordan, Sudan, and many from Egypt. It is worth noting that the Supreme Committee of the Forum includes Dr. Fathi Abdulwahab, head of the fund, and professor of art education Dr. Ahmed Abu Zaid, as well as a number of art professionals in the field. The Luxor International Painting Forum is an important international plastic arts event organized by the Ministry of Culture, represented by the Cultural Development Fund sector. There were also several art seminars held on the sidelines of the forum so as to exchange the various artistic experiences from different parts of the world, together with Egyptian young workshop artists.
We're here at the Cairo Opera House, a cultural hub here in Egypt, where we see a lot of different art forms taking place right here in the Cairo Opera House. So let's go find out more about what the Opera House has in store for us.
The Cairo Opera Company presented a gala concert of musicals and international songs on the small theater at the Cairo Opera House, accompanied by the pianist Maya Jveneria, directed by Hisham Al-Talli, and the artistic supervision for Dr. Iman Mustafa.
For the music, you cannot say that it has a nationality for classical music. It's international. There is no orchestra around the world that is constituted of one nationality. We have foreigners in the orchestra. The ballet company, they have foreigners. They have Egyptians. You come from a different background. You put what you learned in school, and we put it all together in the bag and produce something out of it. Of course, we are very proud to have a classical orchestras, Cairo Symphony and Cairo Opera Orchestra, mainly Egyptians, 80%, not like before. This, of course, is a very good step for us as Egyptian musicians. But actually, working on classical music is international. It's for everybody. Everybody feels it the way he can, and at the end, all the components together and all the nationalities and all the learning get out to the audience in an international, cosmopolitan way.
Actually, we do make this kind of concerts with the orchestra, but the orchestra is mainly for classical music, you know. And actually for musicals too, they do very well with us. We did a lot of concerts with them I like musicals and stuff, and it was perfect actually. Really, I think people loved the concert because, as I told you, most of the things we choose is very, very famous so that people can enjoy and interact with us while we're singing and performing. Oh, well, actually, it's gonna be like to have a main role in like an opera, you know, and a main opera, besides the musicals and the stuff we do.
Out in the darkness, a fugitive running, falling from God, falling from grace. God be my witness, I never shall yield till we come face to face. We come face to face. He knows his way in the dark. Mine the way of the Lord. Those who follow the path of the righteous shall have their reward. And if they fall as Lucifer fell, the flame, the sword stops in your multitudes, scarce to be counted, leaving the darkness with order and light. You are the sentinels, silent and true, keeping watching the night, keeping watching the night. Moon place in the sky, who 100% rain, and each year seasons returns and returns, and it's always the same. And if they fall as Lucifer fell, you fall and flame. And so it must be, and so it is written, on the doorway to paradise, on the top altar and cross who fall must pay the price.
The ballet, they work on their own. They work with the pianist and they work with the CD that has the music. And then at the technique of work, I take their tempos. I look at the choreography, and then we meet together before the orchestra. I go to visit the ballet in their rehearsals to watch every cue, to watch every step they do, so I can memorize and have an idea of what they're exactly doing. Then at the end, we mix all together, all the components together, the dancers with the orchestra. Sometimes it's a bit challenging when they change the place of the dance from the room to the stage, because sometimes the dimensions are bigger or just different. But by the end of the general rehearsal, we are in harmony. I feel them, they're waiting for me, sometimes I wait for them, and not only the body language, but we find a way to meet in the middle between what they need and what the orchestra needs. The message of the Opera House is to present fine arts to the audience in the best way possible. The exchange is happening maybe since the 19th century, since the old Opera House. The message is still the same. The effect of music and fine art on the people is still the same. Our message to work on the education of the people, well, we are trying to do our best, and the government has a very big help for fine arts all over the world. So, well, you publicize what we do for the.
The Cairo Opera Ballet Company represented the Bakhshi Fountain Ballet on the Grand Theatre at the Cairo Opera House, where the dramatic plot showed the feelings of love and jealousy of a love story that glowed in a flawless, powerful performance.
I am very proud to be part of the Opera House because it's an example for every country how the two different type of music and two different type of tradition can match artistically. You know, we have Swan Lake, we have Arabic music, we have operas, we have symphonic, and everything is done in the best level. So really, this is an example of the mixing, the melting of culture. And I see that the opera, since already more than 30 years, is growing in this intent of matching all the culture. And it's very successful, so I am really very happy about it.
Romeo and Juliet is one of the deepest remarkable love stories of all time, which was told through a breathtaking performance presented by the Cairo Opera Ballet Company and accompanied by the Cairo Opera Orchestra, conducted by Maestro Nader Abbasi. The Cairo Opera House is the cultural lighthouse of the Middle East. It presents serious arts and an address of Egypt's artistic and cultural identity, exporting a lofty image of our dear Egypt and exposing this nation to a diverse range of international arts. Shuruq Bikir, Cultural Magazine.
Hello again, you're still watching Cultural Magazine. Hope you're enjoying the episode so far. We have a lot in store for you in the rest of the episode, so stay tuned.
Under the auspices of Dr. Ines Abdeldaim, Minister of Culture, the Egyptian Opera House, headed by Dr. Magdi Sober, represented the Cairo Symphony Orchestra under the supervision of its artistic director, Maestro Ahmed Saidi, organizes the Arab Attitudes Festival on the theater, and it includes 3 concerts and includes works by 11 authors from Egypt, Jordan, and Iraq. Abdeldaim said that the Arab Attitudes Festival Festival is one of the tracks that shed light on the musical works of the Arab authors in the classical format, adding that it aims to enrich the musical life in the Arab world, noting its role in expressing the innovative creations that bear the Arab character in the Western image, and confirmed that it was dedicating a night to commemorate the late musician Gamal Salama, which includes selections from his outstanding compositions in this format. For his part, the opera president said that these activities included 3 nights and started at the evening at the Grand Theatre with a concert led by Maestro Muhammad Saad Pasha and the participation of the soprano Julie Gebrodat. Hamida 2 movements from Jordan Symphony by Haytham Shaqira from Jordan, El Amal from the orchestra by Amr Aqba, composing for the orchestra for the same concert leader. He added that the second concert will be held at 8 in the evening, the 1st of March, on the small stage by Maestro Ahmed Al-Saidi, and bears that the title of the works of the chamber orchestra and includes compositions of texture by Ahmed Matkour, orchestra and strings by Khalid Shukeri, poems for a sad poem, the poem of the French trompe, piano and small orchestra by Ramiz Sabri. The Desert and Desire for the party leader Ahmed Al-Saidi also. The third night comes under the title of The Homeland and is adorned with the compositions of the musician Gamal Salema. And this was held on the Grand Theatre, and it was held by the Maestro Muhammad Said Pasha, during which the international pianist Mushira Isa will participate, and it includes memories for string orchestra, regiment for the orchestra, Rifaldi for piano, orchestra and symphony.
This brings us to the end of this episode of Cultural Magazine, and stay tuned for more.